What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters, man. Bdot and JC just left the stage. Fire battle, all 3 rounds. Just like I predicted, man, this battle would go. It went exactly the way I predicted it would go. Fire, all 3 rounds from both MCs. I wasn't surprised that nothing that happened. Nothing that happened at all. It went down just the way predicted. Bdot started out, man, the rapid flow, punching heavy. His rapid, relentless flow just was crazy, man. Picking up where he always left off at. We never seen a bad Bdot. We never seen a bad round from Bdot. This would be no different, man. Every round, fire, rapid, precision. This was a crazy battle. I gave Bdot 23 points in the first round, man. He had a line when he said, bowling for pen, JC, I won't spare you. That was fire, man. He said, just like he like extending arms before the crowd. He said, just like him, I'm extending arms before the crowd. Then he was talking about how JC always emphasizing. He was breaking JC down in this battle, man, about everything he be doing, how he rap, how he always emphasizing in the battle, hand gestures, everything. I mean, he was doing this thing. I gave Bdot 20 points. It was crazy in this battle. Saga is in Bdot's corner. Like, Saga be moving backwards to me. I don't be getting that dude sometimes. That is just real crazy, man. Here, you saying you a Christian, then here's Bdot a Kemet. You already know he gonna say something against Jesus Christ. You already know he gonna disrespect like he did. You in this man corner giving him support, like knowing eventually what this brother gonna do. And shame on you even worse if you heard his rounds already. Like, what you just be moving real funny and awkward. Like you don't got it, fam. I don't be getting you sometimes. That'd be real crazy, dude. I mean, you need a real stiff, serious reality check. You be looking like a sucker, man. You be looking like a straight up sucker up there, Saga. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real, man. That don't even sound right. But JC come on behind Bdot. To be expected, same JC, fire as always, build up, hate maker, build up, hate maker, and he was striking and he was on point. It just wasn't enough to catch up with Bdot rapid flow, man. Rapid flow, hitting with precision. For every one you throw up, he throw up 4. You know what I'm saying? And landing them. But JC had a line where he said something to Bdot like, hanging like Michael Jackson, baby. That'll be a blanket statement. That was fire. He said, my camp in the streets like Skid Row line. That was fire. The Esau and Jacob, I'm on his heels line. That was nice. He had a solid good round, but it wasn't enough to beat Bdot in the first round. 1-zip Bdot going into the second. Same thing happened in second. Nothing different. It's crazy that Bdot. A couple things. Well, I'm gonna talk about what Bdot need to stop doing is this. When Bdot be rapping, it be crazy because when Bdot be rapping, he always rap on this way where he rap and admit that he actually a clone of Lux. He always admit to this. That's crazy. I can see people doing a comparison, but it's hard to defend the person that's admitting it. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying it in this rap, this battle too, talking about how he another different Lux and things like that. Like, but hey, I guess you a humble person to admit that you probably stole somebody's style then. I didn't think you did, but I can't defend you if you saying you did. So, hey, that mean I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I can't even defend you no more on that because you self-admitting to the stuff. And you did this in a couple battles. So, with that being said, he had a nice cold line. He said to JC, he said, just because he wear a little red don't mean he riding that hood. That was a nice little line. He said he got all these arms like a Hindu god. That was nice. He had a nice line saying that. He was talking about how he danced, how JC do all this dancing and thing, but then he get on stage and never give y'all no performance. That was a nice little thing he did. He had some fire angles, man. He had some fire angles. He said something about JC. He said, bow. Your soul flying over your head. Get over yourself. That was a cold line. The bow, your soul flying over your head. Now you over yourself. That was crazy. That was a nice line. I gave Bdot 27 points. 27 points in that second round, man. He was on fire. 27 points for Bdot in that second round. I knew that was going to be hard to beat. JC come on behind it, man. Same JC, fire, but not enough. I gave JC only 20 points, man, in that second round. He had a line where he said to Bdot, he said, the clip longer than the wait at the hospital when you ain't got no insurance. That was nice. That was a nice line. But JC was saying a lot of stuff. This was a fire battle from beginning to end. I got Bdot 2-zip going into the third round. Bdot get to breaking down JC belief and tearing them down. I'm going to address some of this stuff to open people up if they're ignorant to certain things that they don't know about, like I like doing when they mention God. Anytime they mentioning God and lying on him, I got to get people understanding the truth. He said to JC that the Jews, using his name as JC, short for abbreviation of Jesus Christ. He said, Jews don't even believe you even exist. First of all, that's a lie, Bdot. Jews definitely believe Jesus exists. Look, denying somebody is God and the Son of God is different than saying he didn't never exist. They know that it's a fact he exists. Any real Jew know that. Another thing, you misinforming people. You are misinforming people the difference between Messianic Jews and Orthodox Jews. Orthodox Jews don't believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah. They don't believe he didn't exist. They just don't believe he was the Messiah. They promised Messiah that is to come. But on the other part to that's left out is the Messianic Jews who believe he is, and that he was, and that he already came, and that he is the Son of God and God. The Messianic Jews. When people try to say things like that to try to discredit Christ, to give validity to their argument, it just make them sound more of haters than anything. Because even when they pretend to be intelligent, their intelligence should even tell them that they know that Jesus had followers. Jesus walked with 12 disciples. All of them were Jews. All the prophets wrote about a Son of God, Messiah, that is to come into the world. There also was a Jew. Jesus had thousands of followers that were following him that were Jews before his resurrection and after his resurrection. So for you to say Jews didn't believe him, that's a lie. Then he said Abraham did never exist. That's a stupid statement to make. Because to say Abraham doesn't exist is to say that there's no such thing as Jews. And if there's no such thing as Jews, which we have them right here today, how you gonna say that? That's like saying Israel don't exist, Jerusalem don't exist, and we know it's here today. You think they say Abraham didn't exist and that's their father? You think they dumb to the fact of who they are? They don't know who they are. So for you to say Abraham don't exist, that means nobody existed. You don't even you curse yourself and making such a blatant statement when you say that. If Abraham didn't exist, you don't exist because you're the result of his existence. If he didn't exist, you don't exist. So when you saying certain things, it just don't make no sense. Because without Abraham, you don't have Israel. We know Israel is a real country. We know Israel is a real people. So to say Abraham don't exist, that means Israel don't exist. And we know that Israel is here. Whether you want to accept they the false ones or the real ones, it don't matter. They exist, which means that's proof to who Abraham was, who had a grandson named Jacob that became Israel. So when you saying them things, that's just a stupid statement to make, and it makes no sense at all. Then when you talk about the Hebrew language, Bdot saying it's in the third round. When you talk about the Hebrew language, didn't have the letter J in it, so therefore Jesus' name is irrelevant. That's another stupid statement to make when people say that. God is the creator of all languages and all nations. If God created all these languages, his name would be God in those different languages that give credits and proof of who he is. It don't matter if you call him Yahweh. It don't matter if you call him Yehoshashai. It don't matter if you call him the Tetragrammaton. It don't matter if you call him Lord or God, when the name backs up the word. When the word backs up the name and the name back up the word, that's who he is. If you call him a name in another language, but it lines up with the word of God, that's who he is. That's who he's going to answer to. He the one created the different nations and languages, which meant his name would be solidified in those nations and languages. There's not no one name that God answered to. So when you say stupid things like that, you foolish. Are you trying to say God don't answer us because I speak English? God don't answer the Asians who speak Asians? God don't answer Hispanics who speak Hispanic? God don't answer Africans who speak African? God don't answer the French who speak French? God don't answer Russians who speak Russians who call upon his name? If the name lines up with the word, that's what he's going to answer. He the one who made it that way. He was responsible for it that way. So just talking and using them things to back up your statement, it's a foolish statement to say out of your mouth because it's false. It's a false statement. Simple as that. God is the God of all people. He's not evil and racist like we are as human beings and the things we do. God created everybody and he loved everybody, man, even in their ignorance and stupidity. But we have to stop trying to make God equal to our dislikes and prejudices because he's nothing like us. So when you saying and spewing that stuff out, it's a stupid statement. Of course, everything started out under one thing first. But it was God that divided the earth. It was God that multiplied and scattered the people everywhere and changed their languages. So he would be the one responsible for the same thing he did to bring it all under the umbrella of who he is through the divine word. So what you saying is just a stupid statement. That's just like my name Malachi. You can't say Malachi like I'm saying it in the English in other nationalities of languages. But if I ask somebody, how you say Malachi in Russia? It would be a different pronunciation, spelling than what I'm saying in the English. So that don't mean that that's not my name. That's exactly what my name is because I'm telling you what my real name is in English. And you giving me the term for it in your language of what it means. Is that a lie? No, it's not a lie. It's the truth. Same thing with God. Stop thinking God got one name and one name only that he answered to, and any other name God answered to is not him. No, it don't work. The only name God don't answer to that's not him is any name that you're giving him that don't line up with his word. Now, with that being said, Bdot, I gave Bdot in that last round, I gave Bdot 26 points, and I gave JC 22 points. Bdot won this battle 3-0. This was a fire round. It was personal for both MCs. But Bdot won this battle 3-0, man, because, again, his rapid flow, I knew it was going to outbar JC. I knew he was just going to be spazzing through, and JC was going to be doing these breaks and stops, breaks and stops, breaks and stops. And JC lost this battle. Bdot with the 3-0 over JC. But in a fire battle, JC was fire every round. Every round, JC was fire. This was a good classic battle, back and forth from both MCs, but JC didn't do enough to edge any other round to me. I got Bdot 3-0 over JC with silly, goofy Saga and Bdot's corner cheering him on while he disrespecting God but claiming to be a Christian too. Like, dude, what the hell are you doing, man? You need to get a life, man. Grow the hell up.